Hello everybody, what's going on? Let's see who we got. First person to give us a sound check, please. I think it's too close. Two people.
I think it's fine.
How's everybody doing? Hop on, we'll give everyone a few minutes before we start. Little chit chat. First person to give us, Kayla on there first, should be mom. There's my mom. Sound is good.
Awesome, thank you.
All right. Very good, very good. Thank you, everybody. Got 15 people. We have quite a few questions. Mike, what's happening? Spanky, that's his nickname, everybody.
Awesome.
Susan, how are you? Jarrett, what's happening? Who else have we got coming on? 21 people.
Cool.
So we love when everyone says where you're from, where you're watching from. So put that on there. It's fun to read afterwards. And we get some neat places.
We really do.
Definitely get some neat places. We'll give everyone a couple more minutes. 28 people. What do you think should be the
40?
40? 40 we'll start talking for real. So
Unless that happens in 2
Indy. Very cool. Very cool. What else have we got? Sound is okay. Our air conditioner is running and it's sort of annoying. I'm trying not to let it freak me out.
It should circle up any minute.
Oh, Master Spas is watching
Really?
from
You're
Fort
in
Wayne.
Fort Wayne?
Wow. All right. All right. We're in Connecticut. All right. Wisconsin, 37 people. We're almost up there. Kim, how are you? All right. Ordered in May. Is production up and running? Production is up and running.
Yeah.
We're running full speed. All right. 48. All right. We're starting.
Cool.
All right. So, want me to start?
Sure.
All right, so today's episode is really about weight loss and swim spas. And, you know, these two subjects can go way off in all kinds of directions.
Yeah.
So, you know, we can go from which diet works best to what exercises in the swim spas, but those aren't really what's important, okay? So I'll give you a little background. So Mary and I, our background is actually not really in hot tubs and swim spas, but it's fitness. You know, we own a fitness coaching company and have for years. Oh, the air conditioning shut up. I'm thrilled. I'm so thrilled that was bothering me. So, you know, our background is really diet and exercise related. So Mary actually has a master's degree in nutrition, although I seem to talk way more than she does. So
You like to talk more than I do. I chime in.
she chimes in. She's getting better. You should have seen her 5 years ago. Yeah, 5 years ago, she's just like, yes, no talk, nothing. Total doctor. Okay, so that's our background. So we are actually qualified to have this conversation. What I want to talk about first, and we've got lots of questions that are swim spa specific. We've got diet questions that are diet specific, and we're going to mix them. What I don't want to do is get into super uber specific things like is which diet is best for me. Whether it's, you know, there's always going to be a keto question, there's always going to be an intermittent fasting question, there's always going to be a South Beach diet question, there's always going to be...
And that's not really what this is. Right. More about like using the swim spa to help in your own personal journey.
Now, what I want to add to that is how it actually works. Sure. Without getting into specific types of diets. Okay,
Absolutely.
So this is how it works. This is all science-based. This is an opinion. Okay? So, like the weight loss, I wrote a cheat sheet up here for me. It says weight loss dynamics, how it works. So there's two main components here. It doesn't matter what method you use to create a negative calorie balance. Okay, it doesn't matter at all whether it's South Beach diet, keto diet, intermittent fasting. It all creates a negative calorie balance. So you're going to lose weight in any of those. So I'm just going to say that and put that out there first. And everybody's got their favorites and their least favorites, and what works long term.
And just what he means by negative calorie balance is that you're taking in less calories than what you're burning, right, so that you can actually lose fat.
Right. So you're trying to metabolize fat tissue as energy. So where the swim spa comes into that is it's a method in which we burn calories. So right, you have these components to this, and that's what creates it. Now, you know, calories burned, I have calories burned versus calories consumed. So you need to create a negative calorie balance to lose weight. and then you need to exercise to strengthen muscles, and then you need to do cardiovascular training to both burn extra calories and create cardiovascular fitness. All right, so the whole thing boils down to that negative positive calorie balance. No matter what method you're using, no matter what you're doing, you know, I've said this a million times, and people who are on here who know me have you know, what's your favorite type of cardio? And I've said this since for the last 20 years. I don't care whether you're, you know, shucking corn fast. If that's your cardio, it doesn't matter. As long as you're in a negative calorie balance, you'll lose weight. Okay?
And your favorite type of cardio should be something that you're actually going to do.
Yeah,
and
enjoy.
I think, yeah, and
enjoy,
I
which
think
is not always easy.
It isn't, but I think that a swim spa creates an opportunity for fun, different cardio that is enjoyable, painful.
Yeah. So right. So injury and weight loss and insane training and no diet is wrong. So this is where that balance comes in. So in a swim spa, there is no, you know, the water is our equalizer. Okay. The water gives us the ability to train without, you know, too much risk of injury. I mean, you can still strain shoulders and still strain things if you're swimming hard and all of that. But in the water, we're far less likely to have any of that happen. And if you already have an injury, there's no, really, in some cases, no other way to even get the exercise done on dry land. So that's where the advantage is huge, whether it's your only source of exercise or whether it's just one component of your exercise.
Right, yeah.
So most of our triathletes, or all of our triathletes rather, it's only one component of their training. You know, we've got plenty of people out there where they had an existing injury and this is the only method in which they can exercise. And the water is the equalizer, okay? And it really works fantastic. So when
you're someone that has, you know, done lots of land-based cardio and you get injured, or you know you've had
bored.
or this, having a swim spa is like relieving, because it's something that, you know, someone who's injured or rehabbing from something can actually do when they've spent so much time on the land and they can't do that. This actually gives them the opportunity to get moving again and to start moving and do some of that.
Tell them about your dad, what he said the other day.
Oh yeah, so my dad he would kill me if I announced this on Facebook Live, but my dad is 80 and like amazing.
So she forged ahead and did it anyway.
And but he likes to exercise and well, I kind of make him, but so he does, but he walks a lot. And sometimes, you know, it's painful. He's had surgery on his leg, and sometimes it's painful for him. And so he asked, and of course we said yes, but he asked if he could use a swim spa sometimes. And the other day he got out and he's like, I almost feel guilty because it feels so good to actually exercise in there. And it's fun and it's something different, and it allows me to do some resistance training that I would maybe find uncomfortable in a land-based situation with weights or something like that, where I actually felt great.
Right.
And he can't wait to do more exercises in the swim spa.
And he's in great shape.
Yeah.
He takes great care of himself. He's in great shape. So it was really fun to hear him.
Yeah.
You know, and I said a lot of times you'll do a workout, whether it's the weights, the rowing, the ankle weights, or a swim, or a combination of all that, or running in place. Right. You do all that and you get out and you almost feel like you had a massage, rather than if you run a hard, you know, few miles and go to the gym, you get done and you're like,
yeah,
you know, you feel
sore
it, you
painful.
feel it. It doesn't feel that way, and that's where that, you know, that benefit really comes from.
And that's one of the things that, you know, we mentioned we would be talking about today, is just that, you know, exercising in the water is much less impact on your joints, and it just allows you to be able to move without so much pressure on your joints and muscles. So it allows you to be able to do some things that you might find uncomfortable on the land, but in the water you can do them, and there's a lot of adjustability in a swim spa to make it a little bit harder or a little bit easier depending on your own fitness level.
So what, excuse me, one thing I'd like to comment on, we all know that person who exercises like crazy, and maybe their diet isn't in check, but they exercise like crazy. And the problem with that program, that type of program, is that if you're only doing that much exercise to maintain your fitness or your physique or your weight or whatever it is that's your goal, and you become injured, let's say we're talking about dry land. So if you're running every day and then all of a sudden you have a wear and tear injury in your knee and you can't run anymore, then all of a sudden all of your progress recedes and goes backwards. And that's the sort of thing where having a balanced approach to it is going to prevent that. And in the long run, eventually all of us are going to have injuries that we didn't have before. Even if you've lived, we've lived a life of fitness, and none of us are getting any younger, and I have to deal with certain things that I didn't have to deal with 5 years ago, and certainly not 10 years ago. So there's more care and more time and maintenance into the rehab and soft tissue work, and the swim spot is an amazing way to manage all that. Okay, so the next thing sort of brings the balance, and then we're going to get into more swim spa specific, but we figured there'd be a lot of are you going to show us exercising that swim spot today? I hope. Probably not. We have the cover on there, and this was more about the information that we need to get out there.
But we've got lots of videos, previous videos where we exercise.
The H2 exercise book comes with your swim spa. It's got hundreds of exercises in there. So open it up, crack it open. When I'm looking for something that I'm just not on the top of my head, I'll crack that book back open. I don't care how good you are at this. I refer to that book all the time. It's this thick of exercise. Yeah. It's fantastic. So the last thing I want to say is on this is that Ben's tripod or balance. Balance is important in anything. Balance is important in life. Balance is important with exercise, with work. It's very important.
And with weight loss too.
Absolutely. So when it comes to that, and most people's goal is not just fitness. It's some combination of weight loss and fitness. And obviously everyone wants to be healthy and fit, but we really want both. And most people, it starts aesthetically, and I love to hear when it's not about aesthetics, because health should come first. Okay, but balance. There's 3 components to any exercise program, no matter what the goal is. And one is that you need to have nutrition in the right place. You need to have cardiovascular training in the right place, and you need to have some resistance training in the right place. A tripod's got 3 feet, and if you take one of the legs away, the tripod falls. And it's the perfect way to think of it. If you don't do a little bit of all 3, you're never going to go the distance and sustain that level of fitness, whatever that is. If you just say, hey, you know what? I don't want to be on the cover of a magazine. I want to feel comfortable in my clothes.
Yeah.
I want to feel good about myself. I want to be healthy. I want to get up and sit down, stand up, and do it without any discomfort or any pain at any age. And these are all the goals. So if you eat right, 95% of the time, and then you have some cardiovascular training to take care of your body cardiovascular, and you do some weights so that you're strengthening all your muscles. If you do a little bit of all 3, you'll be really in great shape, and you'll look normal, very perfect, and that's the way to go.
The air conditioning kicked on again.
So it seems so loud. I'm sorry if it. Can you hear that? I'm not even going to ask. It's just going to bother. It's going to bother me. So those 3 components need to be in place a little bit, and eat right, cardiovascular, resistance. 2 of them you can do in the swim spot. The other one in the kitchen.
Yeah.
All right. So,
and eating right for us, in our opinion, I think we would agree that it means balanced.
Yeah.
And getting some good micronutrients and making sure you're getting your macronutrients, and then moderation is key too. So just having a balanced approach to nutrition can really be, I think, the most beneficial. And then again, having the opportunity, if you have a swim spa, to use it for that cardiovascular and resistance training is amazing.
Right. And if you have an injury, it makes it just even possible.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we have a dear friend, Dennis, who is he's a former United States Marine. He was at the Battle of Quezon the whole entire time in Vietnam. An amazing guy. He would slap the back of my head. I actually saw him getting a haircut yesterday. We go to the same barber. It turns out I didn't even know that. He's been my friend for years. I didn't know that we went to the same barber. But so he has a fractured hip just on the ball, and didn't know what it was wrong, and he was going through the process of figuring out MRIs and all that stuff. The only exercise he could do and even relieve pain was in the swim spot. We actually, while he was in here, was feeling good. Turns out it was an actual fracture, and he's actually having a full replacement today as we speak, or he could already be done. So we're excited for him, and as soon as he's cleared to get back in the water,
he'll be in here.
boom, he's done. He's back in there. So just fantastic.
And he's a guy who walks all the time and was devastated that
absolutely.
he couldn't exercise.
6 to 8 miles a day, right? He walked 6 to 8 miles a day, and then all of a sudden they're like, you can't do this, and it's so much immense pain, and he's.
But being able to, come and use the swim spot was like a mental relief for him that he could
you could see the pain, come out of him, and this is a tough guy.
Yeah.
This is a guy who's had replacements of this, lifelong fitness freak. I mean, absolute tough guy. Yeah. And this brought him to his knees for sure, and we're real thrilled to have him. Can't wait to get him back. I think you'll probably see him.
Yeah.
In a video if he lets us. I have to make sure he doesn't swear. So.
I keep seeing comments, and if there are questions that people have posted that we haven't seen, we will get back to them. We'll just address them after the live when we can see them.
Tracy just got my H2X15D.
Awesome.
Fantastic. Can't wait to use it. Stairs were back ordered. Sad face, but I get my orientation on Friday. Just get a little trampoline. Don't do that. I was kidding. I'm joking. That was a joke. Jump off the roof into it. It's fine. No, I'm kidding. Don't wait for the stairs, please. Use a little step ladder. Yeah. Total joke. That is not our, Master Spots does not think that. I was just making a joke. So don't tell on me. All right. So.
One of the things that we want to talk about is what workout to do in a swim spa, and honestly, there's just endless exercises that you can do in the swim spa, and like Ben said, the H2X exercise book has a ton of different exercises that you can do, not only based on specific body parts, but also based on your own fitness level. So that's what's really awesome about working out in the swim spa, is that
my brother.
Oh, that's not. That you can adjust your training and your resistance and cardiovascular exercise that you do in the swim spa based on the type of level of fitness that you're at. So there's some really basic exercises that you can start with, and then you can go all the way to some of the more advanced, difficult exercises that are in that book. And having the resistance of the swim jets and different resistance bands that come with the swim spas, you can really customize your workout to what you need, and adjust accordingly as you improve in your fitness.
Right. So. Right. It's fantastic. So one of the questions we wanted to cover. We've got all the basic stuff, but how does a swim spa cater to different levels? Oh my God, does it ever?
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't take from Dennis, our friend Dennis, who could barely move. And all of a sudden we've got him doing very basic things in here because he was in just a level of pain I've never even seen him in, and I've seen him go through back surgery. I mean, I've seen him go through a lot. He's been around with us for a long time. So to have that level be able to exercise, I mean, he was using, I'm going to give props to Ben Hoffman.
Oh yeah.
So Ben Hoffman is our one of our pro triathletes, and an amazing, fantastic guy. I mean, open book. You can approach him. He's such a good guy, and his family, they're lovely as people get. So the first day, Ben hops in there and he's using the gigantic swim jets, which I never even thought. I've been here for years, years. I never even occurred to me. He starts using the swim jets as on his different joints and different things for rehab. I'm like, it's so simple. He does that. So we had Dennis, a hip joint is buried inside a lot of thick tissue, and we put him right up there, turned the swim spot jets on, and used that for therapy. And he was standing up. It was easier for him to get. It was brilliant. So I mean, so from the very most basic, his movement in here, he was walking in place, not against the current as much as around in a circle, because we wanted him to do some different types of movement, different knee raises. It was super basic. that was about as light of exercise program, and not really even exercise, but more rehab, and then take it to, you know, Mary and I, who are swimming and you know, blasting in here, you know, through workouts. Ben Hoffman is running in place and swimming, obviously. So the swimming is sort of obvious in here, but there's lots of other things. I love to run in place, and I end up doing a hybrid motion where I'm using my hands at the same time. So I'm running in place, and every step I'm swinging my arms, and I end up getting, you know, my heart rate gets up to that 140, 150 mark, which is super comfortable. That's about my marathon pace with no problem, and there's no wear and tear on my body. So, you know, you have all these different capabilities.
Right.
You know, Mary is swimming faster than ever. That's all capability in here, and we swim in the Challenger. We have a H2X Challenger 15 deep, which is what we're sitting in right now. So, swim spot to be delivered to the Big Island.
Awesome.
We're going to bring it ourselves for you. All right. So we'll be right over with. We'll bring ours. You know, actually, we'll bring ours and we'll come stay at your place. So.
And I just think that just going back to those three things, so in order to, you know, using the swim spa to help in the weight loss process would be, you know, watching your nutrition and trying to keep the calories that you're burning, or the calories that you're eating less than the calories that you're burning if you're looking to lose a little weight. Doing some type of cardiovascular activity to help with, you know, your heart and your cardiovascular fitness, and that could be in the swim spa. That could be running in place, like Ben said, or swimming, and even some of the resistance exercises can be both cardio and resistance, like the rowing.
Oh, yeah.
If you get your heart rate up doing that, then that's a really great cardiovascular activity, and you're getting some resistance training. And then the resistance training on top of that, you've got the dumbbells and ankle fins and the resistance bands with, again, all the different exercises in that H2 exercise book that will target different parts of your body to get that resistance training in as well. And having all of those three in place can really help with not only weight loss, but just being healthy.
So there was a question, do we have videos on the spas? And I'm not sure if you mean hot tub spas or do you mean swim spas? So there's no videos of us talking about hot tubs, only swim spas.
There are some videos on masterspas.com.
Yep.
Of different
But
hot tubs.
I think if they're asking us, they're looking for that. We're not allowed to talk about the hot tubs.
That's not true.
So far, we have not done that, but I'm not sure what you're asking. So there's lots of videos talking about the swim spas with us, none with the hot tubs yet. Although I imagine I could probably see that happening.
Maybe.
During the pandemic, travel is limited,
Yeah.
so we have, you know, access to things is not as easy. Although when things really start clearing up, I think you'll see some really neat lives down the road.
That would be awesome.
We've got some neat plans as soon as we're allowed to. Okay, and it's obviously safe to do so. So we ordered a H2X, I'm guessing Therapool, hot tub spas. Yeah, she clarified. That would be fun. I would love to, because I've got my favorites, and I'm not supposed to say that. Am I supposed to say that? What's your favorite? Can you pick? Can you pick a favorite? If you had to pick a favorite, what's your favorite hot tub?
I love the 240.
Well, look at her. I mean, it's
the smallest spa that we have.
It's one of the smallest.
Yeah.
It's not technically the smallest, but
I know.
it is like a little maniac. It's perfect. It's exactly what you are. It's a little maniac, tons of power. I mean, just amazing jets. But it's a Twilight, so the Twilight's definitely our go-to brand.
We're getting off topic.
Yeah, we're off topic. Sorry.
But we will talk to the powers that be about maybe some spa videos.
Susan, can we get some permission here to do some hot tub stuff? So, and you know, Susan's just sitting there laughing, shaking her head.
Yes.
We have videos of all of our hot tub models on YouTube page. Oh, I didn't even know they finished all of them.
Okay, awesome.
Wow,
there you
awesome.
go.
There
Thanks,
you go.
Kayla.
So, right on. All right, so what's next?
Which swim spa is best for me? We kind of talked about that in some previous videos. We have a video on a previous video where we talk about, in terms of swimming, which swim spa is best for you based on how fast you want to swim, how aggressive you want to swim, or aggressive league you want to swim. But I think that ultimately it comes down to, you know, what kind of swimming you need to be able to do in the swim spa. We have the 3 different lines. We have our H2X trainer series. We have our H2X Challenger series, like this one here, and then we also have our Michael Phelps. And basically, they cater to different levels of swimming, where the Michael Phelps, you're swimming about a 1 minute and 5 seconds per 100 meters at its top speed, and the Challenger, which is like a 1:20 per 100 meters, and then our H2X Trainer series, which you're going to be about a 1:45, 1:50 per 100 meters. So in terms of swimming, that could help you decide which swim spa is best for you. In terms of exercising and being able to do some of the cardiovascular and resistance exercise, it kind of depends on how much space you have in your yard, but they all come with the exercise kit, the exercise book, and you know, just trying to figure out what size would be best for you, and if that's...
I think it totally boils down to the swim first.
Sure.
So, I mean, just like Mary said, it totally, whatever the swim capability, that's the first decision that needs to be made. After that, size.
Right.
And that's it. So it's because they're all going to do the exercise, all going to do the cardiovascular training, you know, the running in place.
Right.
The swim is really the deciding factor. So, you know, there's a seat for every butt. So pick the swim speed that you need first, then the size based on yard and how tall you are.
Yep.
And then that's it. So they're all going to do the exercise.
Yeah.
So,
I think that's probably a good segue into some of the questions that we got ahead of time.
you know, I'm going to like knock these off. I kept my hands dry the whole time.
I did too. So actually, one of my first questions is from Anna in California, and she asks, what is the best...
I'm going to address that.
Okay, Ben
interrupt.
has a question first.
So have waited 12 weeks so far for H2X 18D. Contract has 8 weeks. Even worse, there is no answer in why and when. Okay, so what's going on is Master Spas is not slow on production at all. So what happens is if we don't have all of the parts to finish from our suppliers, we have to wait on them, okay? If we could snap our fingers and get you your swim spa tomorrow, we would. I can't tell you how many people we're fighting for, and it's simple. We're in the middle of this pandemic. We are not shut down at all. We are at, you know, high capacity.
And it's just an extenuating circumstance.
It's just a strange situation.
Yeah.
There's things that are outside of whoever you know, I don't know what dealer you worked with. And I'm not asking what dealer you worked with or what salesperson you work with, but it's certainly out of their control, and it's out of our control at this point. All I can tell you is that we are applying pressure in the right places to get what we need to get things finished in as much of a timely fashion as we can, and we are. Okay?
And it's so worth the wait.
It is, and you know, actually,
you'll be so excited when you get it.
That's really, I mean, everyone, and we understand what month it is, and what's happening, and what season it is, and we do, and we're sensitive to it. All I can say is that, you know, remember how you felt when you made the final decision to do it, because it is worth it. This is a life expectancy. We expect these swim spas, when taken care of properly, to last you 20 or 25 years. The one season, you know, in 5 years, you're not even going to remember that you had to wait an extra month or whatever it is. Yeah. So we just ask you bear with us, and when I tell you we are working on your behalf, we really are. Mm-hmm. Okay, and it's just we're fighting to get everyone out that we can. And what's taking place and what's holding us up is not Master Spas. Okay, our suppliers are busy. You know, some of our suppliers were closed down well after, you know, we were opened back up. So we need all those parts to build these. Every part comes from the USA, American Muscle, and I always like to drop that in. But they're coming. Okay, and it's well worth it. And,
so worth it.
And when it comes, you'll remember that. Okay. All right, sorry to interrupt you.
No, that's okay. So my first question is from Anna in California. What is the best model for serious lap swimming at 30 minute per mile speed? Sorry. So I think that, you know, I just mentioned before, the Michael Phelps swim spa at its top speed swims about a 105, 1 minute and 5 seconds per 100 meter. And the Challenger, the H2X Challenger, swims about a 120 per 100 meter. And I, just because with Ironman, I know that that is about a 52-minute, 2.4 mile swim. So either one of those would be perfect for a 30-minute per mile swim.
I say Challenger.
The Challenger would definitely fit in there. So there you go, Anna.
Okay. Let's see. It would be better if anyone would talk about it. We're talking about it. Believe me, man, we are pressing the gas as much as we can. We're coming, guys. We're coming. Believe me, we're coming. All right. Is the Therapool 13 big enough to? This is from Cynthia in New York. Is the Therapool 13 big enough to swim? My husband and I are in our 70s, looking to be able to swim. Air conditioner. We are in our 70s and looking to be able to swim. Where I lost my place. As exercise, we don't want the larger sizes. Do you think the Therapool 13 would meet our needs? So, the Therapool 13, we call it a Therapool and not a swim spa. It has, so actually this is an easy way to think about the H2X Therapool, the H2X Trainer, and the H2X Challenger. The Therapools have 2 swim jets, 13, and then the H2Xs have 4 swim jets, and then the Challenger, of course, has the 6 big airless swim jets. So the quality of swim, obviously, in the Challenger is going to be really flawless, really wide. But it sounds to me that the Therapool is really not intended for swimming, and I would probably push you into a Trainer 12 if size was a concern, or a Trainer 15, maybe a standard Trainer 15 instead of the deep if you didn't want that height. So it's just so much, the quality of swim in the H2X Trainer 15 over the Therapool 13 cannot be measured. It's so different. So I would strongly recommend, moving to the H2X. The height, you want to be concerned with the Trainer 12, your overall height. So, I'm 5'8", and swimming in a Trainer 12 I can get away with. It's small.
Yeah.
It's small. It's just the reality of it.
And if you are looking to actually be able to swim, the Therapool just isn't enough power to give you enough resistance to be able to swim in place.
Right. So I'm going to suggest maybe stepping up a little to either a Trainer 12, H2X Trainer 12, or the Trainer 15 shallow, and it's going to hit that sweet spot. Okay. So I think probably the 15 length is probably my favorite overall, and it just in any of them, and it just really works well. I mean, Mary and I have done quite a bit of swimming in an H2X Trainer 15. We've done quite a bit of swimming in there, and it really works nice.
Yeah.
Okay. So, all right, your turn.
Speaking of the Trainer 12, I have the Trainer 12. This is from Lori in Indiana. I use it daily and I love it. The only issue I've had is adjusting the water temp between working out in the morning and relaxing in the evening. How long does it take to change the water temperature? So this swim spa this morning was at 88 degrees. What?
Someone asked if those notes were laminated. No, if we drop them, we're in trouble.
And that's why we keep our fingers dried.
Dry
keep them dry the whole time. So I'm sorry, Lori. We had this swim spa around 88 degrees this morning. I turned it up. I think it was maybe 11 o'clock. Turned it to 95, and at 3:30, it was 93 degrees. And that put the covers on. So it will take about 2 to 3 degrees an hour to heat up. So if you finish your workout in the morning and turn the temperature up to where you want it to be for the evening, and you keep your covers closed, it should be pretty warm by the time you get in that night, if that helps.
Definitely. And even like right now, it's sitting at 93, 94, keeps bouncing between the two. It feels awesome.
Yeah,
it feels hot because I mean, we have it's rough to get in here and sit in this thing and have these conversations for 45 minutes. We gotta be comfortable. We're very fancy, and we gotta be comfortable.
I like to be warm.
I do too. All right. Let's see. This is from Kathy in Ohio. Is the H2X Trainer Series adjustable enough that anyone can use it, or does it just have 1 or 2 swim speeds? Is the 42 inches of water depth enough for proper upright exercise for 5'10"? If you aren't over 64 inches tall, is it possible to swim with tether and variable D? Okay. I don't love tether situations, so you don't get the rotation. So swimming in a variable D at 5'10" is not happening.
Or even 62 inches.
Yeah, it was the inches
That's
that
not.
threw me off.
It's not long enough.
So at 5'10", I probably recommend the deep. I'm 5'8", and it's really nice to have that extra depth. I'm gonna recommend the deep. The H2X Trainer Series, as far as adjustability goes, you have diverter valves, so you can totally adjust that speed, and it's not just on or off. It's totally adjustable.
Yeah.
All you do is divert power away from the swim jets. It puts it back in the hot tub seats.
Every like eighth of a turn is going to
it's
adjust.
changing that, so you can dial it in. And then I've seen lots of people make marks on there, so they have their sweet spot. So you can just go, and then you turn it on there real fast with like a white paint marker, just a little strip, you know, on the knob, and you can line it up. All right. So I'm going to say yes. There is plenty of adjustableness in the H2X series. Swimming with a tether and a Therapool D, I'm going to say no. I would not recommend that. I don't think it'll be the experience you're looking for. I would go a little longer. And as far as the water exercise goes, in the 42 inches, so the shallow, the 51 inches, I like the deep. So if you can do the deep, do the deep. It is deep enough to get exercise done in the 51. That was always the standard. Okay.
This is from Mike in Nevada. My wife is in a wheelchair and won't be able to climb into the spa. We have bought a lift for her to get in. Is there anything else we might consider? The one recommendation I would have is the soft tread padding on the inside of the swim spa, because it provides non-slip and some nice cushioning for when you're in the swim spa. It also comes down, I don't think you can see it in the video, but it comes down the steps, and you have the handles here that you can use, and that padding really does a really nice job of
I love it.
yeah, it's
I
really
absolutely
great.
love it. It's far better than I ever thought it. You know, when it first came out, I was like, man, do you really need that? It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's absolutely awesome. I'm a huge fan. Right? Agree?
Yeah, I totally agree, and I recommend it. And I don't know what your install situation is, but you definitely, you know, if you can have some kind of railing or handle outside of the swim spa to help her to get in and out, that would help as well. So.
Okay. Can a Phelps swim spa be installed in ground? All right. This is a question we get
A lot.
50 times a day. Any swim spa can be installed in ground. I had trouble getting that out. Figure as a general rule of thumb, if you're going to do what's called a vault, cannot swim in a Therapool. No, you can't. So anytime you're going to do a vault, you are going to add $10,000 to $15,000, you know, US at a minimum to do a vault. Okay, because there's a lot of components to it, and it has to be done correctly, or you'll ruin your beautiful swim spa. So on the vault, you have to dig down, and keep in mind, I'll give a quick vault class here on what I like to see, and I like to have 18 inches to 24 inches of that swim spa sticking up above the decking that you use at the top, so that you can sit your tush on the edge and spin in. Lots of people, they want to sink it to the flange so that it looks like an in-ground pool. You are making it more complicated than you understand, and you're probably going to regret that at some point. So now here's what you need to know. Swim spa. The vault has to be 3 feet larger, 2 to 3 feet larger. We've had them installed plenty with 2 feet, and the service guy just needs to be skinny. 3 feet is what we officially call for. Lots of them done in 2, 2.5, 3. It will work. Okay, so you need to, if you have an 8 by 15 swim spa, you need to do the vault needs to be 12 by 19. Needs to be minimum. Really should be bigger. Okay, so then what you're going to do is you're going to dig down. You're going to pour a slab under there with drainage, but you really don't want pitch on there, because then the swim spa is going to be pitched, and you can't level it afterwards. So you need to provide proper drainage in that hole, whether it's a sump pump, whether it's a gravity, fed drain. I love when the air conditioning turns off. you need to provide drainage for that hole. If that hole fills with rainwater, it's not the swim spa water that we're concerned with, it's the rainwater. If that fills with rainwater, it's gonna get in, it's gonna wreak havoc on your pumps and all your electronics. It's gonna destroy the swim spa. Okay, I mean it has happened where pumps have failed. So just keep in mind, anything mechanical, you're running that risk. So I like a gravity-fed drain with a pump backup. That's the best case scenario for never having an issue. So that needs to be handled, and then you need to deck over the vault to the swim spa, which can be done. So it's a lot more work, and then the electric needs to be run in there. So it can be done, but it needs to be done correctly. So I mean, I spend a lot of time talking to architects and contractors who want the hole the same size. No, it can't be that big. Guess what? It needs to be. So, they don't want to do that. They don't want to do this. They don't want to do that. And it's going to cause a problem down the road. It needs to be done correctly. You can't cut corners. And this is your baby. View it that way. Don't cut corners. So, yes, it can be installed in ground. It needs to be done correctly. The term you're looking for is vault. Okay?
This is from Chelsea in Oklahoma. What if we are moving in a year? How do you move it? So we can definitely help you move it. You should just contact your local dealer and they can help you with that process, whether you're moving from one place in Oklahoma to another. Your local dealer can help with that, or if you're moving to a different state and you need to get it onto a moving truck, then your dealer can also help with that. So you just want to contact your local dealer for help with that, but they are fully portable. That's their claim to fame, so they definitely can be moved.
Yeah, it's not a terrible big deal to move one. We move them all the time. Okay, would you say that's Nana or Nona? Nana?
I think Nona.
Nona in Georgia. I'm sorry if I butchered your name. I am interested in Therapool D. Will I be able to get a good workout? I am 5'8". Will water come over my shoulders? The water will not be over your shoulders. So I don't know if you can see this. You may not be able to see this.
No.
So that water is how far?
So you're right at chest height?
Mid-chest. I mean, I'm exactly 5'8". So
not to his shoulders.
That being said, I can get a great workout in there though. So, but it's not going to come to your shoulders. It's not. The water height's about 4'3".
You can get a great workout with the fitness equipment. He wouldn't be able to swim.
Right.
In the
That's what I was just going to say. The Therapool D, not made for swimming. It's just not big enough. Okay, it's not long enough. You're going to stretch out in there. And then the other thing with the Therapool D, it's got seats along the edge on the swim spa side, so it's really not conducive or even made. It's not
Right.
intended for swimming. Okay, so it's made for more sitting. It used to come from the
Right.
Twilight Fit. All right, it used to be in the Twilight series, and it was called the Fit, and it's really handsome looking. I always loved the way that thing looks. It's tall and short and really meaty looking. It's really fantastic. So they used to have a TV that came up out of there. Yeah, that was something. All right, no more TVs. All right, I think that's it.
Yeah.
So to Nona, exercise, yes. Great workout, yes. Swimming, no. All set. All right, what else? Any other questions? I don't think we can scroll through that thing.
But we will always go back and
Right.
check out if we missed any questions.
Oh, here we go. I'm scrolling through. It's letting me move back a little bit. We are still considering, I'm 4'11" and hubby is 6'3". Yeah, it is. Sorry about that. Shut up. I'm thinking the Trainer 15D will be too deep for me. It will not. So the Trainer 15D is really nice for, Mary is 4'10".
I'm 4'10", and it is above my shoulders, right at my shoulders.
So, but fantastic. And for
It's
6'3", you have to have the deep. He's big.
Yeah.
He's big. So maybe you guys should have chosen,
Water
someone
depth.
else in the middle.
The water depth is only about 4 1/4 feet deep. So
Whenever you say that, it always sounds funny to me.
why?
4 1/4. I just think 4 feet and 1/4 inch, rather than 4'3". It just sounds funny. I don't know. Like the 70,
4 1/4 feet
60,
deep.
like the 67 1/4, or whatever you
6725.
6725. Anyway, whatever.
Whatever.
Okay. So anyway, we're gonna close off with that. We'll be back on there for
2 weeks.
questions, and we'll be back in 2 weeks.
Oh.
We'll pop back on for questions. You can always, if you send a message in to Master Spa's Facebook, just put on there it's to us, because we get a lot of messages on there, and we don't always see them. So someone responded, said something like, you didn't answer for 2 weeks. I didn't know it was there.
There's hundreds of
there.
people that are messaging, and we don't always get the notification.
Right. So the notifications get lost in the bunch in there. So just put on there it's to us. How do I get my health insurance to pay for a swim spa? That's
something that you need to talk to your health insurance about. It's very rare.
Yeah, it's like a unicorn. We all want to believe they exist, but we've never actually seen one. So it's sort of like that. All right. We'll bid you good luck on that. They're not really paying for much these days. So anyway, we will be back 2 weeks.
Wednesday, I don't know the exact date offhand, but it's in 2 Wednesdays
from now.
Yeah, and it'll be 4 o'clock on Wednesday Eastern time on Master Spa's Facebook Live, and we look forward to seeing you guys then.
You got it. We'll see you then. Thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Have a good night.
Catch you soon. I gotta get over there without falling into the water. Where is it?